Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Nelson with the Kansas City Sports Commission and Foundation, and you've tuned in to the Weekly Report. Kansas City is a sports town. We love football, soccer, baseball, volleyball, and of course basketball because it's the month of March. The Sports Commission plays a big part in all kinds of sports events in the city, from runs and sports clinics to helping recruiting major sporting events to KC, like the Big 12 Basketball Championship that is happening this week at the Sprint Center. Later this month, Kansas City will host the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Midwest Regionals, also at Sprint Center. That's the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. The team victorious in KC will move on to play in the Final Four. To find more information about these events, including where to park, go to visitkc.com. Are you more than an armchair athlete? If so, the Kansas City Sports Commission is hosting the annual Big 12 Run on Championship Saturday, March 16th, downtown, right in front of the Sprint Center. Options include a 1-mile run at 8 a.m. or a 5K and 12K race starting at 8:30. You can register at sportkc.org. The Sports Commission has a 50-year-plus history here in Kansas City. Early on, we assisted the city in securing a Major League Baseball franchise expansion team that is now known as the world champions Kansas City Royals. Our organization has helped in generating hundreds of millions of dollars in economic activity, and we help to shine the national and international spotlight on KC. This summer, the U.S. Gymnastics National Championships returned to Kansas City for the first time since 1987. The 4-day championships, held at Sprint Center from August 8th through the 11th, will feature the country's best gymnasts as they compete for national titles and a spot on the national team. And if you haven't heard, North America was awarded the 2026 World Cup. Kansas City played a big role in securing the largest sporting event in the world, both in person and on TV. We are now hard at work to get our city selected to host games. Watch for ways on how you can get involved in bringing the World Cup to Kansas City. And as you know, we are known for our fountains. And this week, a statue for a brand new fountain was unveiled.
We are so excited to present this magnificent piece that Quan Wu has produced. The sculpture will stand for generations to come, educating our people about our local heritage.
Mr. Soto was the pioneer of the city of Kansas City.
This is a great way for our future generations to have an educational opportunity to gain a rich history of where they've come from and what that means for their future.
It and two others will be standing on a 8.5 foot bluff. Water will cascade over the rocks off of this bluff into a pool simulating the Missouri River.
Thank you very much for showing your support for what is not only a Northland asset, but a city asset as well. Thank you very much.
Speaking of fountains, be sure to come out to Fountain Day and celebrate with us on April 16th. This year we're featuring the newly renovated Delbert Half Fountain, so be sure to come out and celebrate as all the fountains across the city are turned back on. Thank you for watching the Weekly Report. I'm Kathy Nelson with the Kansas City Sports Commission and Foundation. Stay tuned for videos from some great city departments.
The Kansas City Council has voted to phase out contracted trash collection. Moving trash operations in-house is expected to save nearly $20 million over the next 10 years. The city recognizes that resident satisfaction with trash services have declined over the last few years. This new plan will improve service, reduce complaints, and save taxpayer dollars. The Solid Waste Division is finalizing the plan and time schedule to transfer trash services in-house. The plan will be presented to the City Council for final approval.
Our citizens are not happy with the level of service being provided, so we looked at improving bulk item collection So one of the things that you see is an improvement in bulk item collection to add more appointments to bulk item collection so we can get back to monthly collection citywide.
Additional bulky pickups will also help reduce illegal dumping.
The model that we've used for 40 years is probably coming to an end.
The proposed plan allows solid waste to expand bulky item and leaf and brush pickups. It will also help enhance neighborhood cleanup programs. Under the plan, the Solid Waste Division will hire nearly 80 new workers and add nearly 24 new trash trucks. A citywide in-house trash collection program could begin as early as 2020. Recycling collection is under contract until 2024 and is unaffected by the new trash collection plan.
The Kansas City, Missouri Police Department is building bridges with some of the city's young athletes through baseball. This is the 5th year for badges and baseball, and the 2nd year it's been held at the Kansas City Urban Youth Academy. The partnership with the I Am King Foundation and the Kansas City Royals teaches youngsters the basics of baseball with KCPD officers as coaches. Merrill Bennekin, Executive Director of the Office of Community Complaints, is one of the organizers.
As you can see, we have officers working with the kids on baseball skills, but also we'll have a classroom session where we'll talk about policing. We'll let the kids have some question and answer session with the officers, but also we'll do some actual role reversal, dealing with various topics, traffic stops, bullying, things of that nature. So we just want them to see police officers and policing in a different light and to be able to answer any questions that they may have about the profession, about what the officers do, but also just to, develop some relationships with the officers while having a good time playing baseball.
The I Am King Foundation uses baseball as a tool to teach youngsters character, discipline, and integrity, in addition to preparing them for a life after Little League. Darwin Penny is Executive Director of the Royals KC Urban Youth Academy.
Kids come today, they get an opportunity to work on all phases of the game: hitting, pitching, throwing, catching the ball. The officers are serving as the clinicians today, and so they're building a relationship while they're working on their skills. So hitting, they work their way from a tee to somebody pitching to them to hitting off a machine, fielding ground balls, fielding fly balls, learning how to properly get their feet in position so that they can throw. And so it's a full day of baseball, and so we're just glad to be a part of this.
Kansas City Royals General Manager Dayton Moore explained the importance of the Royals' relationship with the program.
It's a big part of what we do here with the Royals. The Urban Youth Academy is a major project for us, something we're very proud of. Our staff is very much behind this, our ownership is behind this, and it's important to serve the community in this way. And the bottom line is we want to do everything that we can as a front office, as an organization, to inspire young boys and young girls to play baseball and softball. And so we appreciate the partnership here today with Kansas City Police Department. Great folks sacrificing each and every day for our community, and it's special to see them out here today interacting with the kids, putting on this clinic, and developing that trust and those great relationships that we all need to be successful and thrive in this community.
Members of the KCPD practice their own swings along with officers from Kansas City, Kansas and Johnson County Community College. KCPD spokesman Jake Bakina says it's a great activity for everybody involved.
Each one of these interactions that we have with kids in the neighborhoods, out there in the community, all of them are relationships that we're building. And those relationships can grow and cultivate over years, over generations. Our relationship with the community is one of the most important assets that we have as a department, and it goes a long way to how we do our business in our community. And so things like this are a huge piece of the relationships that we build on a daily basis out here.
After the baseball clinic, the young players had a chance to talk with officers and learn more about them through role-playing. 14-year-old Justin White played baseball for the first time and says he'll do it again.
People think of police like, oh man, that's police, stay away from them. Oh, don't mess with them, that's the police. But honestly, today you can really see they have some great personalities, and it's a really, really nice experience playing with them.
For more information about the I Am King Foundation, visit their Facebook page. I'm Sergeant Matt Fisher. Have a safe week.
The Kansas City Artists Coalition has been around for over 40 years, and while much has changed in the arts and cultural landscape of the city, what has remained consistent is the focus of the Artists Coalition's mission, which is on local and regional visual artists. Here to tell us more about the organization is new Executive Director, Marissa Stark. Marissa, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you for joining us.
And the Artists Coalition has been around for 40 years, and that is no small feat for any organization. Can you talk to us about what you attribute the success and the longevity to of the coalition?
Absolutely. So 1976, a handful of artists actually gathered just up the street on Delaware in the studios of Philomene Bennett and Leigh Merrick to discuss this concept of how to bring local awareness and local voice and representation to local artists. At that point, there was no Crossroads. There weren't a whole lot of galleries looking at local artists. They were always bringing people in from the coasts, Chicago, Miami, but there was no space for local artists that were viable and vibrant as well. So they got together thinking there maybe be a handful of people that would show up. They walked away, posted these notes across the city, came back, and 100 artists were at their door, knocking on the doors, ready to talk about this conversation. Mm-hmm. And in that meeting, they decided there was a need for a space that was artist-run and locally and regionally focused. And that was the beginning of the Artists Coalition. And I think at that point, they decided the mission and values of the organization was intended to support local artists and regional artists and give voice and educate the community on the importance of these local artists and the value that this region has.
And what about, in addition to the exhibitions that you have, you also have workshops. So you not only support artists by having a venue space for them, but you also provide educational opportunities as well.
Absolutely. So it's kind of a two-part approach that we have. We provide solo exhibitions like the one we're standing in currently in 4 gallery spaces. We also do group exhibitions, and those are educational in and of themselves. We really work with emerging artists and artists at mid-career to help them learn how to properly install a show, how to promote themselves, and how to just be good voices for their own art and business. On the other side of the educational component, we are looking at workshops that teach kind of the business of art. So talking about legal advice, accounting services in the community for artists specifically. We also talk about social media and marketing strategies and a variety of other generals of how to be a good artist and be a good business person at the same time. So we're kind of tackling it from 2 different sides.
And I understand there's change coming up and that you're also looking for a venue for your own space. You're looking for your own space.
Absolutely, yeah. So the organization has been graciously hosted in the current spaces for the past 33 years. And as you mentioned, with the changes in cityscape and landscape, we also are looking to maybe change it up a little bit. The building was sold in October of this last year. And so now we're looking at maybe changing our current venue. So we've been looking all over the city to see what makes sense for us and what the community needs are, and really having an exciting opportunity to reevaluate how we can even better serve the community here in Kansas City.
Well, you've got a lot of adventures ahead, it sounds like. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us about the organization. And if people are interested in submitting artwork or in finding out more about your organization and the exhibits, where would they go?
The best place is to go to the website. So, and that's www.kansascityartistscoalition.org.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund supports local nonprofits that bring cultural, social, educational, and recreational activities to our area. To learn about additional upcoming events, visit kcmo.gov/ntdf.